Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Several related operations aimed at achieving a particular goal, usually within geographical and temporal constraints. Go on a campaign. Go off to war. Run, stand, or compete for an office or a position. A race between candidates for elective office. I managed his campaign for governor. An overland journey by hunters, especially in Africa. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. He supported populist campaigns. Several related operations aimed at achieving a particular goal, usually within geographical and temporal constraints. Go on a campaign. Go off to war. Go on the playing field of a football team. A small stream. Have a particular form. The story or argument runs as follows. Perform as expected when applied. Does this old car still run well? Compete in a race. He is running the marathon this year. Become undone. A row of unraveled stitches. She got a run in her stocking. A score in baseball made by a runner touching all 4 bases safely. The Yankees scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Run, stand, or compete for an office or a position. Who's running for treasurer this year? Come unraveled or undone as if by snagging. Her nylons were running. Direct or control. Projects, businesses, etc. She is running a relief operation in the Sudan. Extend or continue for a certain period of time. The film runs 5 hours. A race between candidates for elective office. He is raising money for a Senate run. Include as the content, broadcast or publicize. Pass over, across, or through. The act of testing something. Travel a route regularly. Carry out a process or program, as on a computer or a machine. Run a new program on the Mac. Flee. Take to one's heels, cut and run. If you see this man, run. Cause something to pass or lead somewhere. Have a tendency or disposition to do or be something, be inclined. These dresses run small. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. Service runs all the way to Cranberry. The act of running, traveling on foot at a fast pace. He broke into a run. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. Keep company. The heifers run with the bulls to produce offspring. Change or be different within limits. Interest rates run from 5 to 10%. Deal in illegally, such as arms or liquor. Continue to exist. A race run on foot. She broke the record for the half-mile run. An unbroken series of events. Nicholas had a run of birdies. Reduce or cause to be reduced from a solid to a liquid state, usually by heating. The pouring forth of a fluid. American football. A play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. The defensive line braced to stop the run. Be diffused. These dyes and colors are guaranteed not to run. Move along, of liquids. Progress by being changed. Run through your presentation before the meeting. Pursue for food or sport, as of wild animals. The dogs are running deer. An unbroken chronological sequence. The play had a long run on Broadway. A regular trip. The ship made its run in record time. A short trip. Take a run into town. Be affected by, be subjected to. Run at temperature. Be operating, running or functioning. The car is still running, turn it off. Carry out. Run an errand. Cause an animal to move fast. Run the dogs. Cause to perform. Run a subject. Change from one state to another. Run amok. Cover by running. Run a certain distance. Make without a miss. Move about freely and without restraint, or act as if running around in an uncontrolled way. Who are these people running around in the building? Move fast by using one's feet, with one foot off the ground at any given time. Don't run, you'll be out of breath. Occur persistently. Musical talent runs in the family. Run with the ball, in such sports as football. Sail before the wind. Set animals loose to graze. The continuous period of time during which something, a machine or a factory, operates or continues in operation. The assembly line was on a 12-hour run. The production achieved during a continuous period of operation, of a machine or factory, etc. A daily run of 100,000 gallons of paint. Travel rapidly, by any, unspecified, means. She always runs to Italy, because she has a lover there. Unrestricted freedom to use. He has the run of the house. A race between candidates for elective office. The campaign of a candidate to be elected. An overland journey by hunters, especially in Africa. An overland journey by hunters, especially in Africa. Change the arrangement or position of. Move or cause to move back and forth. Cause to be agitated, excited, or roused. Try to stir up public opinion. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. Move very slightly. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. Any of the more or less continuous military expeditions in the 11th to 13th centuries when Christian powers of Europe tried to recapture the Holy Land from the Muslims. Go on a crusade. Fight a holy war. Be engaged in a fight. Carry on a fight. Siblings are always fighting. A hostile meeting of opposing military forces in the course of a war. Make a strenuous or labored effort. The act of fighting. Any contest or struggle. A fight broke out at the hockey game. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. Fight against or resist strongly. Don't fight it. An aggressive willingness to compete. The team was full of fight. A boxing or wrestling match. The fight was on television last night. An intense verbal dispute. A violent fight over the bill is expected in the Senate. A dense crowd of people. To be oppressive or burdensome. Something pressed on his mind. The print media responsible for gathering and publishing news in the form of newspapers or magazines. The act of pressing. The exertion of pressure. He gave the button a press. Make strenuous pushing movements during birth to expel the baby. The state of demanding notice or attention. The press of business matters. A tall piece of furniture that provides storage space for clothes. Has a door and rails or hooks for hanging clothes. A machine used for printing. Lift weights. This guy can press 300 pounds. Force or impel in an indicated direction. Squeeze or press together. She compressed her lips. A weight lift in which the barbell is lifted to shoulder height and then smoothly lifted overhead. Press and smooth with a heated iron. Press your shirts. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. Press from a plastic. Press a record. Any machine that exerts pressure to form or shape or cut materials or extract liquids or compress solids. Ask for or request earnestly. Be urgent. This is a pressing problem. Clamp to prevent wooden rackets from warping when not in use. Create by pressing. Crowd closely. The crowds pressed along the street. Exert pressure or force to or upon. He pressed down on the boards. Place between two surfaces and apply weight or pressure. Pressed flowers. Press, drive, or impel someone to action or completion of an action. He pushed her to finish her doctorate. The act of applying force in order to move something away. He gave the door a hard push. Make strenuous pushing movements during birth to expel the baby. Now push hard, said the doctor to the woman. An electrical switch operated by pressing. The elevator was operated by push buttons. Move with force. He pushed the table into a corner. Strive and make an effort to reach a goal. We have to push a little to make the deadline. Make publicity for, try to sell, a product. The salesman is aggressively pushing the new computer model. Approach a certain age or speed. She is pushing 50. The force used in pushing. The push of the water on the walls of the tank. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. The Liberal Party pushed for reforms. Enterprising or ambitious drive. An effort to advance. The army made a push toward the sea. Move strenuously and with effort. The crowd pushed forward. Press against forcefully without moving. She pushed against the wall with all her strength. Sell or promote the sale of illegal goods such as drugs. The guy hanging around the school is pushing drugs. Any entity that produces an effect or is responsible for events or results. Give rise to. Cause to happen or occur, not always intentionally. Cause a commotion. A comprehensive term for any proceeding in a court of law whereby an individual seeks a legal remedy. Cause to do. Cause to act in a specified manner. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. They worked in the cause of world peace. A justification for something existing or happening. He had no cause to complain. Events that provide the generative force that is the origin of something. They are trying to determine the cause of the crash. Hitting a golf ball off of a tee with a driver. He sliced his drive out of bounds. The act of applying force to propel something. After reaching the desired velocity, the drive is cut off. A journey in a vehicle, usually an automobile. He took the family for a drive in his new car. Force into or from an action or state, either physically or metaphorically. He drives me mad. Have certain properties when driven. My new truck drives well. Move into a desired direction of discourse. A road leading up to a private house. They parked in the driveway. Cause to move back by force or influence. Strive and make an effort to reach a goal. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. The team was ready for a drive toward the pennant. A wide scenic road planted with trees. The Riverside Drive offers many exciting scenic views. Travel or be transported in a vehicle. Proceed along in a vehicle. We drive the turnpike to work. A mechanism by which force or power is transmitted in a machine. A variable speed drive permitted operation through a range of speeds. A physiological state corresponding to a strong need or desire. Cause someone or something to move by driving. Cause to function by supplying the force or power for or by controlling. The amplifier drives the tube. Cause to move rapidly by striking or throwing with force. Drive the ball far out into the field. Compel somebody to do something, often against his own will or judgment. Computer science. A device that writes data onto or reads data from a storage medium. Excavate horizontally. Drive a tunnel. Hit very hard, as by swinging a bat horizontally. Drive a ball. Hunting. Chase from cover into more open ground. Drive the game. Hunting. Search for game. Drive the forest. Move by being propelled by a force. Operate or control a vehicle. Drive a car or bus. Push, propel, or press with force. Sports. A hard straight return, as in tennis or squash. Strike with a driver, as in teeing off. Drive a golf ball. The act of driving a herd of animals overland. The trait of being highly motivated. His drive and energy exhausted his coworkers. To compel or force or urge relentlessly or exert coercive pressure on, or motivate strongly. She is driven by her passion. Urge forward. Drive the cows into the barn. Work as a driver. He drives a bread truck. Earnest and conscientious activity intended to do or accomplish something. Made an effort to cover all the reading material. Use of physical or mental energy, hard work. He got an A for effort. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. Contributed to the war effort. A notable achievement. The book was her finest effort. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. A euphemism for defecation. He had a bowel movement. A group of people with a common ideology who try together to achieve certain general goals. He was a charter member of the movement. An optical illusion of motion produced by viewing a rapid succession of still pictures of a moving object. The succession of flashing lights gave an illusion of movement. A natural event that involves a change in the position or location of something. A general tendency to change, as of opinion. A broad movement of the electorate to the right. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. The movement to end slavery. A major self-contained part of a symphony or sonata. The second movement is slow and melodic. The act of changing the location of something. The movement of cargo onto the vessel. The driving and regulating parts of a mechanism, as of a watch or clock. It was an expensive watch with a diamond movement. Activity by a military or naval force, as a maneuver or campaign. Activity by a military or naval force, as a maneuver or campaign. It was a joint operation of the Navy and Air Force. A process or series of acts, especially of a practical or mechanical nature, involved in a particular form of work. The operations in building a house. Mathematics, calculation by mathematical methods. They were learning the basic operations of arithmetic. A medical procedure involving an incision with instruments, performed to repair damage or arrest disease in a living body. They will schedule the operation as soon as an operating room is available. Process or manner of functioning or operating. The power of its engine determines its operation. Psychology, the performance of some composite cognitive activity, an operation that affects mental contents. The cognitive operation of remembering. A business, especially one run on a large scale. A large-scale farming operation. A planned activity involving many people performing various actions. They organized a rescue operation. Computer science, data processing in which the result is completely specified by a rule, especially the processing that results from a single instruction. It can perform millions of operations per second. The activity of operating something, a machine or business, etc. Her smooth operation of the vehicle gave us a surprisingly comfortable ride. The state of being in effect or being operative. That rule is no longer in operation. Compete in a race. Let's race and see who gets there first. The flow of air that is driven backwards by an aircraft propeller. Cause to move fast or to rush or race. The psychologist raced the rats through a long maze. Move hurriedly. The cars raced down the street. A canal for a current of water. Biology. A taxonomic group that is a division of a species, usually arises as a consequence of geographical isolation within a species. A contest of speed. The race is to the swift. Any competition. The race for the presidency. People who are believed to belong to the same genetic stock. Some biologists doubt that there are important genetic differences between races of human beings. To work as fast as possible towards a goal, sometimes in competition with others. A military campaign designed to achieve a specific objective in a foreign country. A journey taken for pleasure. The property of being prompt and efficient. A journey organized for a particular purpose. An organized group of people undertaking a journey for a particular purpose. An expedition was sent to explore Mars. Call attention to. Make publicity for. Try to sell a product. Call attention to. Please don't advertise the fact that he has AIDS. Make publicity for. Try to sell a product. Give a promotion to or assign to a higher position. I got promoted after many years of hard work. Make publicity for. Try to sell a product. Contribute to the progress or growth of. Be changed for a superior chess or checker piece. Change a pawn for a better piece by advancing it to the 8th row, or change a checker piece for a more valuable piece by moving it to the row closest to your opponent. An investment that is very risky but could yield great profits. Proceed somewhere despite the risk of possible dangers. We ventured into the world of high-tech and bought a supercomputer. Put at risk. Put forward, of a guess, in spite of possible refutation. A commercial undertaking that risks a loss but promises a profit. Any venturesome undertaking, especially one with an uncertain outcome. A military campaign designed to achieve a specific objective in a foreign country. A military campaign designed to achieve a specific objective in a foreign country. Tour the country in order to solicit votes for an election. Broadcast again, as of a film. A program that is broadcast again. She likes to watch I Love Lucy reruns. Cause to perform again. We have to rerun the subjects, they misunderstood the instructions. Rerun a performance of a play, for example. Run again for office. Bush wants to rerun in 1996. The base part of a tree that remains standing after the tree has been felled. Walk heavily. Cause to be perplexed or confounded. This problem stumped her. A platform raised above the surrounding level to give prominence to the person on it. Cricket. Any of 3 upright wooden posts that form the wicket. Remove tree stumps from. Stump a field. The part of a limb or tooth that remains after the rest is removed. Travel through a district and make political speeches. The candidate stumped the Northeast. Have one's name listed as a candidate for several parties. An official written record of names or events or transactions. A cash box with an adding machine to register transactions, used in shops to add up the bill. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. Record in a public office or in a court of law. Be aware of. Did you register any change when I pressed the button? Have one's name listed as a candidate for several parties. A book in which names and transactions are listed. An air passage, usually in the floor or a wall of a room, for admitting or excluding heated air from the room. A regulator, as a sliding plate, for regulating the flow of air into a furnace or other heating device. Computer science. Memory device that is the part of computer memory that has a specific address and that is used to hold information of a specific kind. Enroll to vote. Register for an election. Enter into someone's consciousness. Did this event register in your parents' minds? Manipulate the registers of an organ. Music. The timbre that is characteristic of a certain range and manner of production of the human voice or of different pipe organ stops or of different musical instruments. Record in writing. Enter into a book of names or events or transactions. Send by registered mail. I'd like to register this letter. Show in one's face. Her surprise did not register.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.